afternoon, everyone, and welcome to Live at 4 on this Lisa Briggs Wednesday.
Yes, it is. A little later this hour, we'll be taking your plant and garden questions. A lot of work to get ready for fall.
And the grass is growing every day. I mean,
yes, it's just, it is, with all that rain.
For this time of year, it's incredible.
Yeah, Mark and I will let you know when it's time to call in.
But first, topping our news today, how friends of the two murder-suicide victims from Sunday have come together to support the family.
A new Marquette Law School poll is released today. It shows a tightening of the two top state races.
And Queen Elizabeth is now lying in state with hundreds of thousands waiting to file past her casket. We'll tell you more on the Queen's final journey from Buckingham Palace. Let's take a look outside. The sun is out. Humidity's not bad.
Nice and warm.
Return of summer. Greg Barnhart is in the backyard with the latest on the return of the warm weather.
Yeah, it's coming back a little bit, at least through early next week. So right now, it's kind of the battle of the air masses going on right now across the area. We got that northeast wind kind of behind the front towards the lake that's actually bringing the cooler air. And then we got more of the southwest wind, of course, towards southwestern Wisconsin. So there's a kind of a contrast in temperatures and a little bit of that stratus cloud that's kind of burned off. So that's kind of keep temperatures a little bit different across the area. As we look at temperatures right now, you can see closer to the lake, it's about 60s to 70s. As you go further southwest, it's more to the mid to upper 70s, and that's just because of the wind flow right now. So that means as we zoom in Madison, there's even a little bit of a difference between northeast Dane County and southwestern too, as you go from about low 70s to about the mid 70s too. So that boundary is kind of hanging out there right now. It's going to start pushing back, but for right now we're up at 72 degrees. Once again, our low is 50, which is about 52, which is about average where we should be. So things to know right now, like I said, tonight we might see some morning fog once again. Temperatures are going to be on the increase, so it's going to be above average. Right now average is 74, and then rain chances come in Friday through Sunday, and I'll have all the more details on this coming up in a little bit.
Of course, right on the weekend.
Yeah,
exactly. Greg, thank you. We'll see you in a few minutes. A tight-knit neighborhood with families who've made a habit of looking out for one another are now doing whatever they can to support the children shaken by the loss of both of their parents.
Though neither police nor the Dane County Medical Examiner's Office has officially identified the couple, friends and neighbors have confirmed it was Jason Ray who killed his wife Jessica before later taking his own life when he walked in front of a semi-truck on the interstate. Police described the case as a murder-suicide.
In the days since, the family's neighbors and friends have rallied behind the 3 children the Rays left behind in a public GoFundMe effort that has now raised more than $40,000 so far. The organizers wanted to make it clear that they received the family's permission to talk about their efforts with our Catherine Merck, and she'll have more on that coming up on News 3 at 5. The latest numbers in the race for Senate and governor show things are getting tighter.
That is from a new Marquette Law School poll that was released today.
To break all of that down, political reporter Will Keneally has the numbers for us. Will.
So it's the Wisconsin cliche, right? It's going to be a close election, and things are getting even closer. If we look at the top line numbers here for the race for U.S. Senate. The thing to keep in mind here is that the margin of error in this poll is right around 5%. So Ron Johnson is ahead of Mandela Barnes by just 1 point. It's essentially a tie. And that's a huge gain for Johnson, who is trailing by 7 points in the last Marquette poll in August. That poll was taken just after the primary election, with a margin of error closer to 4 points. On the governor's side, it's been status quo. Tony Evers and Tim Michels are still locked in what is essentially a dead heat when you include that margin of error. This is just like they were in August. And Marquette pollster Charles Franklin says what's driving a lot of the change on that Senate side that you don't see much of on the governor's side are the sway of independent voters.
Last month, independents were hugely for Barnes, 55 to 40. Again, coming right off of the primary victory. But this time, they're leaning to Johnson by 2 points, 48-46.
So what we're seeing here is the sway of those independent voters, but there aren't that many of them. Of those polled, they split evenly between the two parties, roughly 45 to 45%. That means only 10% of those sampled were independents. We'll have a full summary of this up online at channel3000.com.
Will, thank you. And Charles Franklin will be on Live at 4 tomorrow to break down more of the numbers. Much of Britain came to a halt today.
Pausing for the once-in-a-lifetime sight of Queen Elizabeth making her final journey from Buckingham Palace. Queen Elizabeth II passed under the Great Arch of Buckingham Palace for the last time. A horse-drawn carriage bearing her coffin in a solemn procession. Following on foot, the Queen's son, King Charles III, along with his siblings, and just behind, the princes, William and Harry. The coffin was topped with foliage from the royal residences, including lavender and pine, and the imperial crown encrusted with thousands of diamonds. The live queue tracker for people attending Queen Elizabeth's line in state is now live on YouTube. This is a live view of how long the line is to view, and at its maximum, it was almost 3 miles long, stretching all the way past the London Bridge. Right now, the line is 2.4 miles long. It's open 24 hours a day until it closes at 6:30 a.m. on Monday, September 19th, right before the official funeral.
Well, this probably comes as no surprise. The Crown may soon reign supreme on Netflix. It jumped into the top 10 this week. Viewership of season 1 of the streaming company's award-winning series about Queen Elizabeth has skyrocketed since the Queen's passing. The show's producers have paused production on the show's 6th and final season as a sign of respect.
It's a great show. You should watch it.
It is a great show. A single mom in Middleton is building the framework for a better future for her family.
And she doesn't have to do it alone. We spoke with the Dane County Habitat for Humanity crew about their latest local build. Moladine shows us how it's all coming together. Teal?
That's right. Letitia McEwen has never owned a home, but today she's one step closer to saying goodbye to paying rent and trading it in for a mortgage. This morning, volunteers, including Letitia herself, began building the walls for her house. It will be a one-story with 4 bedrooms and 2 bathrooms. Crews won't place the frame on the foundation for another month, but Letitia can already picture what's to come. Habitat's construction director says a big part of their mission is making sure the homeowner is always involved.
And that's a key part of her sweat equity, which she's going to do working on her home, working on her neighbors' homes, helping us out in the restore, and supporting our mission. So that's a key part of her partnership with us.
Once the build is complete, Habitat goes from being builder to bank, selling the house to Letitia. This means the first-time homeowner will continue her partnership with Habitat, paying a mortgage to buy the house over the coming years. Now, tonight at 5, we'll hear from that homeowner, Letitia. She'll share why Habitat support has been a dream come true for her and her daughter.
It is a great organization. Teal, thank you. President Biden hit the road today, literally, at the North American International Auto Show in Detroit.
The president pushed his plans for a multi-million-dollar investment in electric vehicle chargers in 35 states.
It's funded by the bipartisan infrastructure law. Deborah Alfarone has more.
President Biden is revving up the push for his administration's accomplishments at the North American International Auto Show in Battleground, Michigan.
Jump in and give you a ride to Washington.
The president announced the approval of $900 million to build more electric vehicle, or EV, chargers, spanning 53,000 miles of the national highway system. That's just part of an overall budget set aside for 500,000 chargers across the country by the end of the decade.
Now we're choosing to build a better America. An America that's confronting the climate crisis with America's workers leading the way.
The president has made promoting electric vehicles a key part of his climate goals. But back here in Washington, House Republicans are bashing his administration's energy policies.
You're not plugging your car into a tree. You need some stable energy sources, and a lot of that would be fossil fuels, but they're against fossil fuels.
In a bid to retake control of Congress in November's midterms, Republicans are also hitting the president on crime, the economy, and high inflation. The latest CBS News Battleground tracker shows the GOP with an advantage to win the House, though the Senate battle appears to be deadlocked.
The American people cannot afford another year of failed Democrat one-party rule in Washington.
President Biden indicated this week that he believes his party can keep control of the House. Deborah Alfarone, CBS News, Washington.
And today, the president touted the recently signed Inflation Reduction Act, which includes financial incentives for Americans to buy new and used electric vehicles.
The administration has set a goal for electric vehicles to make up 50% of all U.S. car sales by by 2030. Today marked the United Way Blackhawk Region's Day of Caring. The group kicked off the day with breakfast at ABC Supply Stadium. Organizers say 375 people showed up to grab a meal, and over 560 will volunteer at a project in the community today. Volunteers headed out to 50 projects, including landscaping, planting, and helping the Salvation Army get ready to serve community meals for the first time since the start of the pandemic.
Gives volunteers a chance to get out of the office, roll up their sleeves, and feel really good about what it means to live united. And it also helps our nonprofit agencies accomplish important work that might have otherwise stayed on their to-do list or the rainy day list.
This is the 10th anniversary of the United Way in the Blackhawk region. Over the last decade, the group has invested over $20 million back into the area.
Dane County Executive Joe Parisi has kicked off Bike Dane today and provided some updates on local bike trails. Parisi was joined by local bike and transportation advocates, as well as local leaders at Lunny Lake Park to provide updates on Dane County's efforts to improve the bike trail system, including Phase 2 of the Lower Yahara Trail. The long-term goal of the Yahara Trail is to make it all the way to Stoughton and to provide a safe and healthy way to get between Stoughton and Madison.
And when we live in a community that's as large as ours and growing as quickly as ours, it's even more important that we have the infrastructure in place to ensure, to our greatest ability, that biking is as safe as possible.
Once the project is complete, there will be 12 miles of bike trails between Madison and Stoughton, which will be big for both communities. Well, the freight rail industry is facing a possible strike beginning Friday.
We'll find out what the sticking points are between the two sides and what effect a strike would have when Live at 4 continues.
You're watching News 3 Now, Live at 4.
Gosh, you look great.
Thanks to you, I lost 22 pounds.
And I lost 40 pounds by signing up with Jenny Craig.
Max Up is Jenny's most effective program ever.
I struggled to lose my baby weight and my confidence was at an all-time low. Jenny helped me turn everything around. With her delicious food and personal coaching, the weight came right off. Now I'm looking and feeling like myself again.
What are you waiting for? Sign up now.
Jenny works.
I'm gonna miss you.
At Prudential, we can't tell you when your kids will finally go out on their own. But we can at least make sure that when they do, you're ready. That's why millions rely on us for the rock-solid strength that helps you plan for and achieve your retirement dreams. Whichever road you take, who's your rock?
I am crushing this to-do list.
Let me see. Smart home upgrade? Home gym?
Check.
Well, what about the windows?
Cross something important off your list. With energy-efficient windows for just $129 a month, now is the perfect time to get your home ready for fall. And keep some cash in your pocket.
Windows for $129 a month and soon. Call now.
For quality windows, siding, and doors, call 866 for Feldco.
Consumer Cellular has the best customer service.
They care about the customer.
The best price with the best quality.
The prices, the coverage.
The coverage is great.
It was the same, if not better.
Consumer Cellular provides the exact same premium coverage as the nation's leading carriers for half the cost. Switch to Consumer Cellular and get talk, text, and data starting at just $20 a month.
It's like 4 scoops of ice cream for the price of 1.
Switch today and get a 100% risk-free guarantee. Call or go online.
When cleaning your air ducts, it's important to clean the entire system. An air duct cleaning from Stanley Steamer removes pounds of trapped dirt, dust, and allergens from your home completely. The cleaning improves your home's indoor air quality, keeps your home cleaner longer, and can even improve the efficiency of your HVAC system. We want you to have the cleanest and healthiest indoor air possible. So call for a free inspection today.
Stanley Steamer gets your home cleaner.
Do you feel safe?
Mandela Barnes would eliminate cash bail, setting accused criminals free into the community before trial, even with shootings, robberies, carjackings, violent attacks on our police. More than 300 murders last year alone. Yet Barnes has even supported defunding the police. Mandela Barnes, he stands with them, not us. Senate Leadership Fund is responsible for the content of this advertising.
Welcome back. Do you take a multivitamin every day?
Well, you might want to talk to your doctor about it, especially if you're older. A new study shows taking a daily multivitamin might help with brain function. The trial involved more than 2,200 people over the age of 65. The ones who took a multivitamin slowed down cognitive aging by 60%. That's nearly 2 years. Of course, the big question is why? Well, that's something that scientists don't have a clear answer on yet, but it may be because multivitamins help people who don't have enough micronutrients, things like vitamin C or magnesium. While experts in Alzheimer's disease and dementia are encouraged by the findings, they caution that larger studies will still be needed.
Stocks rebounded a bit after yesterday's huge sell-off, Wall Street's worst day since June of 2020. The Dow Industrials added 30 points, closing at 31,135, though Nasdaq tacked down 86, while the S&P 500 was up 13. The Biden administration is stepping in to help with contract talks between railroads and unions.
There is a push to find an agreement before the railway workers go on strike, possibly as soon as this Friday. Labor Secretary Martin Walsh met with railroad executives and union leaders in Washington, D.C. this morning. The two sides are still at odds over sick time and attendance policies. 30% of all U.S. freight shipments could be impacted if there is a strike, putting further strain on the overwhelmed supply chain.
There's just no question that it would be extremely devastating, and its impacts would compound very rapidly over a couple of days.
A federal law on the books allows Congress to step in and prevent railway workers from striking, but Democratic leaders say they don't want to go down that road. Republican Senator Jerry Moran of Kansas says he's worried about farmers being able to ship their crops, and he is urging Congress to act. Amtrak is canceling all long-haul trains, including the popular Empire Builder from Chicago to Seattle and the California Zephyr from Chicago to San Francisco.
And some commuter rail lines are warning customers to find an alternate transportation beginning Friday. Bob Lentenberger is the assistant editor of Trains Magazine, which is based in Waukesha. Bob, welcome to Live at 4.
Hi, Bob. Good to see you.
Good afternoon. Good afternoon.
So how did we get to this point?
This has been a long haul. The negotiations that you were just referencing now have actually been going on since about 2019. And if you really trace the roots of rank and file morale as far as railroad workers are concerned, boy, we can trace this all the way back to the early part of the 90s. In fact, some sources have told us that right now, railroad worker morale is probably at the lowest that it's been since 1992. So this has been going on for a while.
What are the major sticking points in this conflict?
Well, the first one was wages. And the Presidential Emergency Board recommendation of a 24% raise pretty much took care of that. It wasn't quite what the unions wanted, but it's a significant raise. Probably the last and the biggest sticking point is let's call it human relations matters. Sick time, how sick time is accounted for, when workers can take time off, how many days workers can be on call, and then some of the policies that railroads have put in place that actually penalize workers if they take a sick day to get a physical or to take care of a child or a family member. There's a big line in the sand when it comes to those personal days and that vacation and the sick time, and that's the sticking point right now.
Can we cross that line, do you think?
It depends on which side you're looking at. The unions are standing very firm. In fact, the two biggest unions yet that are still the keys in the negotiation, the engineers and the conductors, have pretty much put the line in the sand and said, we're not going to agree to something until those items are discussed. The railroads on the other side are saying, wait a minute, our policies already address that, and we've given you a raise. Let's move on here. So yeah, they are locking horns right now in a very serious manner.
What do you think are the impacts to the economy and to all of us, those of us at home, if this strike actually happens on Friday?
Sure. Well, and first off, just to make sure everyone understands, there may or may not be a strike on Friday. Friday is the first opportunity under the Railroad Labor Act that they can actually strike. Okay, so it might not happen right away. Impacting us, you already mentioned Amtrak. Amtrak, as of this afternoon, has suspended all of their long-distance trains. Commuter rail, if you're heading into Chicago, you better check. They are starting to shut down things starting Thursday night into Friday. For freight, in the Madison area, Wisconsin and Southern serves Madison. They are not part of the strike talk or the negotiations that are going on here, but as a short line, they can still serve their customers, but then to hand that freight off to a bigger railroad to move it somewhere else isn't going to happen if there's a strike. So, when it comes down to us on the street, foodstuffs, there is a lot of food that is moved by rail. We might start to see shortages there. Chlorine that's used by municipal water utilities to purify our drinking water, that moves by rail. There are still places in this country that electricity is generated by coal. And when those stockpiles start to run down, if the plants can switch to natural gas, or if the utilities have to buy natural gas generated electricity, natural gas is a little pricier than coal right now. So we're probably going to see a price spike there. Plus it's just, everything else. You think about all the things that come from overseas. Those containers have to get from the coasts to us here in the Midwest. And most of that comes by train.
Yeah, most everything comes by train. So we'll keep an eye on this thing, and Bob will get back to you as events warrant. Thanks for being with us today.
Bob, thanks so much for joining us. Great information. Good to see you.
Well, from trains to planes, air travelers could be facing new hurdles this fall, in part due to Amtrak's canceled rail service.
CBS's senior travel advisor, Peter Greenberg, tells us what hurdles the airlines are still facing. That's coming up after Greg's First Warn forecast.
The 2023 Ford F-150 trucks are coming, meaning more ways to haul, tow, go, and do, and with more ways than ever to make it your own. Plus, if you order now, you'll lock in your price and lock in your rate. Do more in a 2023 Ford F-150. Custom order yours today. Lock in 2.9 for 60 and get 500 retail order bonus cash when you order a Ford F-150. Only at your Wisconsin and UP Ford dealers.
Save yourself. Money with farmers?
That's not wrong. When you bundle your home and auto policies with Farmers, you save yourself up to 20%.
That's something.
Get a whole lot of something with Farmers. Kind of creepy.
We are farmers. Bum, 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 bum.
Save 11% on all your home improvement needs now at Menards. Keep your home's exterior beautifully protected with Cedar Creek vinyl siding. This low-maintenance siding withstands the elements and comes in 16 colors ready to install. All 11% off. Novik offers superior siding panels that can complement the exterior of your home with a natural wood and stone look. They have a large selection of colors and styles. All Novik siding panels are now 11% off.
Save big money at Menards.
Introducing the Planet Fitness Guide to getting that post-workout glow. Step 1, what's your why? More epic energy, better sleep, blow off steam? Step 2, join Planet Fitness for $1 down, $10 a month, cancel anytime, and get moving. Go cardio crazy in our clean and spacious clubs. Jam out on the strength machines and get down with some dumbbells. Step 3, bask in that post-workout glow. Join Planet Fitness today for $1 down, $10 a month, cancel anytime. Deal ends Wednesday, September 14th.
At Machinery Row Bicycles, you'll find bicycle store quality electric e-bikes from Trek, Electra, Felt, Giant, and more. Trek offers the best-selling e-bike in America, Trek Verve Plus, under $2,500. At Machinery Row Bicycles, you'll find fat e-bikes, mountain e-bikes, road e-bikes, bike path e-bikes, and more. Free services included. The place to shop for your new e-bike is Machinery Row Bicycles, the most beautiful bicycle store in the world.
First, we found out that Radical Tim Michaels supports Wisconsin's 1849 abortion ban.
But you wouldn't support exceptions for rape or incest?
That's correct. Now we found out his foundation funds a group working to outlaw birth control and ban abortion, even to save the life of the mother. And his family foundation funds a group that uses cell phone data to track women if they go to abortion centers. Vote no on Radical Tim Michaels.
Well, take a look at this. You won't believe what happened on skipper David Sinclair's charter fishing boat. David and his grandson Cameron were fishing 20 miles off the coast of Maine when they hooked a mako shark.
Holy moly.
The already surreal encounter turned wild when the fighting fish suddenly took flight and landed on the boat. Despite the in-your-face twist of fate, everybody's okay. They quickly scrambled to restrain the shark, then took measurements, tagged it, and returned it to the sea. Talking about jumping the shark.
And having the camera rolling at the right time.
We talked about this at noon. Without a camera, this story wouldn't exist.
Exactly.
What, a shark jumped on your boat? Yeah, right.
Yeah, sure.
It'd be believable. Jeepers.
Yeah, I don't know. What would you do?
I would jump in the water.
Get out of the way.
Trade places with it.
Yes.
Could jump in the water might be a good idea.
I don't know. My bet at that time, I'll just take my chances.
Yeah.
Well, the warm weather coming, a little dip might be nice.
Yeah, it actually will be. Low mid-80s next week. We'll take a look at that, and precip chances, too, coming up.
At Harker Heating and Cooling, you can save a whole bunch of money when you buy a furnace. You know what's even better? Saving even more money when you purchase a furnace and an air conditioner at the same time.
Harker Heating and Cooling.
Fry Construction wants to thank you for once again voting us Best of Madison 3 years running with 27% off gutters or insulation. Your neighbors already know how we strive to meet and exceed expectations with each and every project. That's why they voted us Best of Madison 3 years in a row. Experience the Best of Madison for yourself with Fry Construction. Save 27% off gutters or insulation with any full roof replacement project. Schedule your consultation today at fryconstruction.com.
I've always loved building things, not just structures and skyscrapers, but teams who make it all possible. After all, we wouldn't be where we are today without them. So we made sure that, like these buildings, their futures may also stand the test of time.
The other side will make up lies about me to scare you. Now they're claiming I want to defund the police and abolish ICE. That's a lie. I'll make sure our police have the resources and training they need to keep our community safe. And that our communities have the resources to stop crime before it happens. I'll bring back manufacturing. And I'll pass a middle-class tax cut. And if that's too scary for Washington, then so be it. I'm Mandela Barnes, and I approve this message.
Chevy Silverado. It's got the power you want and the capability you need to do the job so you can get to the important work. Find new moments, find new roads. Get a $500 cash allowance on all 2022 Silverado pickups with a 2.7-liter turbo engine. Plus, now during truck season, get a $1,000 accessory allowance toward a new Chevy truck with accessories. Find new roads at your local Chevy dealer.
At Harker Heating and Cooling, you can save a whole bunch of money when you buy a furnace. You know what's even better? Saving even more money when you purchase a furnace and an air conditioner at the same time.
Harker Heating and Cooling.
News 3 Now First Warn Weather is brought to you by Lazy Boy Home Furnishings and Decor.
Discover a shopping and design experience as comfortable as the furniture. Lazy Boy Home Furnishings and Decor. Schedule your free design consultation today.
Yeah, if you notice kind of the smoke outside, the hazy skies we've had a few days, to give you an idea. We've had that last week, but we got it again too. Right now, all these dots are actually the active fires that are actually going on out west, actually the ones that are not 100% contained. The larger fires are the red dots, blue dots. That means they have quite a few personnel fighting these fires. And then underneath, we got a lot of stagnant air, so they've actually got dense smoke or air quality issues going on. So as you look at the map, you can see we're going to continue to see this smoke and haze for the next couple days until we actually see a change of it. But the nice thing is to watch sunsets, because they typically are pretty good when you have the smoke or haze in the atmosphere. Right now we do have a front. Like I said, we're kind of indicating where we have a little change of an air mass and wind flow. We'll see that here. Otherwise, all the action that we're really concerned for the weekend is out to the west. That'll eventually be coming our way. For the time being, though, we basically got northwest flow coming across and then northeast to the surface. So a few high clouds coming through, and then obviously we still have some of that low stratus clouds that are kind of hanging around, of course, close to the lake. This gives you an idea how much warmer above average these temps are. We're looking at 10 to 15, even 20 degrees above average coming our way, close to it. Otherwise, out to the west, cloud cover 66. Give and take, Salt Lake was 105 about a week ago. So give or take what happens when you have cloud cover and a change in the pattern. Overall, as we see what's going to happen on as we go through tomorrow and Friday is that front and that thing is going to get closer to us, but we're still going to stay under the southerly flow for at least the next 2 days. So cloud cover will increase, but the precipitation is going to ride across and go to the north. And once we get closer to Friday, then we start seeing more into Iowa approaching. That's what's going to happen more Saturday night as you get close to Friday evening. But until then, we're going to be warm and get a little bit more muggy here too. And this is Friday, 6 p.m. We're starting to see it getting a little bit closer, but it's going to take its time. As you look over the next 24 hours, and we see it's this afternoon, this evening, still you got that wind flow east-northeast, and it turns a little bit, so there is a little bit of a temperature difference between southwest Wisconsin and eastern. Tonight we'll see temperatures get down to 60s, upper 50s, a little warmer, but the fog potential once again is going to be there for several of the areas as we still got that low level of moisture hanging around with the wind flow. And then tomorrow, once again, southerly flow, we're going to see temperatures get more low 80s in the southwest part of the state. Over towards here will be more upper 70s. That's just a sign that we're going to get a little bit more muggier, a little more temperature change here. But as we look at the 10-day, you see that once we get past the nice, comfortable days, we're going to see muggy conditions, showers and thunderstorms coming. Looks like Saturday night to Sunday is the best chance to see it. Nothing like last Sunday. And then other than that, we're going to get warm and potentially muggy through next Tuesday. It's something we're going to keep an eye on. We could get warmer than that. But 84 is still about 10 degrees above average. And then if you went beyond that, there could be something substantial coming the following weekend. Could be fall back, too.
I was just going to say, yeah, right.
So, looks like the AC is going back on for a while.
Yeah, it's going to be now. You have to keep your windows shut at night now. So.
All right. Greg, thank you.
Thank you, Greg.
Well, the state of travel, airlines, airports, and safety were the topics of a CBS News town hall in Washington, D.C. yesterday.
The head of the TSA, the pilots union, and some airline CEOs were among those speaking.
Earlier, we asked CBS News senior travel advisor Peter Greenberg, who was the moderator of the event, about the job openings now in the airline industry.
Well, they're ramping up as much as they can. We still have the Great Resignation and the Great Migration. The numbers are still not where they need to be, although some airlines are claiming they are actually at levels that they can handle. The CEO of JetBlue was there this morning and explained they have 16% more pilots flying 11% less capacity, so they're in pretty good shape. Other airlines, not so much. American Airlines, their pilots were there today talking about airlines publishing schedules that they could not physically support with the staff that they have. So what you're seeing is that going into the fourth quarter, airlines slashing their flight schedules, American alone canceling 31,000 flights for their November schedule alone. Other airlines may follow suit. So we're not out of the woods yet. And by the way, we're not just talking about pilots. We're talking about the people who work below the wings, the guys on the tarmac, the baggage loaders, the counter agents, and of course the federal agencies, the TSA and the air traffic controllers. Most of them were represented today talking about what their challenges are going into the fourth quarter and hopefully getting them solved before the rush of travel comes back in 2023.
One of the things you discussed today with the panel, the TSA announced something troubling when it comes to firearms. What did they say?
Well, two things that were troubling. One, the number of firearms seized at security checkpoints is way up, over 4,500. But the particularly troubling thing is, of those seized, 86% of them were loaded. A notation that the TSA seemed to interpret as a lot of first-time travelers not realizing what the real rules are, not to mention the real penalties for doing that.
And the dangers as well. The head of the pilots and the flight attendants union also at the town hall. What are their top concerns?
Well, the pilots are lobbying hard for a second barrier between the cockpit and the cabin. They've got bipartisan support for it. Now it's got to get financed. Another way to deny entry to the cabin or to the cockpit during the flight. And then at the same time, the flight attendants and the pilots talking about crew rest, being asked to work maximum number of hours, which may in fact be legal, but may not in fact be that safe. Again, it's a numbers game. There are not that many reserves out there. And even though the airlines are hiring pilots, that doesn't mean they're flying yet. There's a learning curve there. You can't just go kick the tires and sit in the left seat and fly the plane. So we're not out of the woods yet, but they're working on it.
Can we ask you a little bit about the impending freight rail strike? Amtrak announced that it's suspending 3 of its long-range routes out of Chicago. What is the potential domino effect there for people on rail travel and air travel?
Well, Amtrak's had a record number of riders this year as well as last year, not just on their short-haul trains, but on their long-haul trains like the Empire Building or the Zephyr and the Sunset Limited and the Southern Crescent. And the first trains that are going to get canceled in this strike are going to be those long-haul trains, which means those people are going to end up trying to fly where the airfares may not be as cheap or may not be as available. So you're going to see a trickle-down and then a tumble-down effect if the strike continues.
It never gets easy, does it?
No.
No.
Peter, thanks for being with us again. Great to see you.
Thank you, Peter. Great to see you.
You got it, guys.
Just stay home. Coming up next on Live at 4, we have a season preview of The Amazing Race.
And then coming up next hour at 5, the best tasting water in the state has been decided. So who won? We'll tell you coming up tonight at 5.
Save big on quality Smith Brothers furniture at Wanakee Furniture ETC, the #1 Smith Brothers dealer in the nation. That's right, per square footage, we sell more Smith Brothers than anyone else. So let our design experts customize a look for you during the Smith Brothers factory authorized sale at Wanakee Furniture ETC.
The Socialist Squad led the charge to defund the police and eliminate bail for dangerous felons. Now violent crime is surging in Wisconsin.
More people have been killed in Milwaukee this year than in any previous year.
Mandela Barnes attacked the Kenosha police and incited more violence.
The officer's deadly actions attempted to take a person's life in broad daylight. This felt like some sort of vendetta.
Mandela Barnes, dangerously liberal on crime.
I'm Ron Johnson, and I approve this message.
It's like I'm downloading in slow motion. Wish we had better internet.
Charlie! That's right, it's me, Charlie. Wish specialist for Spectrum. Let's get that wish granted.
How?
Spectrum Internet delivers fast speeds for a stronger connection on all your devices. Here, yeah, and here. Plus, get a free modem and free desktop security to keep your kids safe online.
Get Spectrum Internet for $49.99 a month. Call 833-768-4999.
Why do we need all these remotes? I wish our shows were in one place.
Spectrum TV makes it easy to find your favorites. Plus, you'll have access to over 85,000 titles on demand. And with the free Spectrum TV app, you can watch live sports, news, and more on any device, anywhere.
Get Spectrum TV for $49.99 a month. Call 833-768-4999.
I wish we didn't have a
contract. Granted.
Oh, he's good.
Switch to Spectrum Internet or TV, or get them both for $49.99 a month each, all with no contracts. Call 833-768-4999.
Everything seems to be getting more and more expensive these days. And it's the same for your heating bills. Since it will cost more to heat your home this winter, USA Insulation wants to give you control over your utility bills. Our premium injection foam keeps the cold outside and your warm, comfortable air inside, right where it belongs. Call now before winter and get a $500 early bird discount.
USA Insulation.
Save big on quality Smith Brothers furniture at Wanakee Furniture ETC, the #1 Smith Brothers dealer in the nation. That's right, per square footage, we sell more Smith Brothers than anyone else. So let our design experts customize a look for you during the Smith Brothers factory authorized sale at Wanakee Furniture ETC.
New at 5, fulfilling a dream. A young girl alongside her mother are building a house they can call their own. We follow them on their journey.
After another wonderful day, we're looking for a cool night, but we could see some fog developing. We'll take a look at what we can expect coming up at 5.
Proving it takes a village, community members step up in the wake of tragedy as the Ray children lost both of their parents. We speak with the neighbors looking out for one another. Giving the weather satellite a spin, guess where we are?
Oh, that's a great shot, isn't it?
Statue of Liberty.
Statue of Liberty.
New York Harbor.
Yeah.
70 degrees there today.
Kind of hazy, sort of like here.
Yeah, it could be the smoke. Who knows? Well, we're just a week away from the premiere of the Emmy Award-winning series, The Amazing Race.
The 34th edition and the 400th leg of the race kicks off with 12 new teams, a few firsts, and a major game twist.
Host Phil Kogan has a preview.
Is everybody ready to race? The start of the race is always super exciting because you have all these teams with all this potential energy, and then we also have something to celebrate. This is our 400th leg of the Amazing Race. A lot of history here. This is also the first time ever that we have started our Amazing Race outside the United States. We've never done that before. I would like to officially welcome you to the start of your Amazing Race here in Munich, Germany. We've had hundreds of teams come on the Amazing Race, and for this 400th leg, we've got awesome combinations.
Where our story kind of started was his love for the Buffalo Bills and the fact that I failed miserably as the head coach of the Buffalo Bills.
I'm Claire.
I'm Derek. We met on Big Brother. This is me and Claire's first time working with each other to win a game.
She's 6'2", I'm only 5'7", and I need a little bit of height on the race because most people think that like she wears the pants, even though she does. Like I do a good job behind her.
I'm a Murphy. That's just what I am, and that means that I sprinkle everywhere.
How amazing that you get this opportunity together, huh?
Yeah, this is truly a gift.
Yeah.
So Emily and I were adopted from South Korea in 1985. We were both raised not knowing each other existed, and it was a DNA kit that actually brought us together as adults 1 year ago.
This is a very competitive season. It's the first time that we have ever had a race without non-elimination legs. It's no more second chances. If you arrive last, you will be eliminated.
This is do or die, you know, because there is no other chance.
He was my hero growing up because I looked up to him. He kind of introduced me into the Amazing Race.
This is Asta's dream, so I'm thoroughly excited to be here with her and be her chosen partner. Like, that's very, very special for me.
If you like interesting people and you like going to amazing places, you have to watch the show.
This has been a long process to get here. Now we're like, it's game time, baby.
Mark and I, we can't wait. Mark and I love this show. We love it. And there's so many teams from Madison have won. Madison teams have been very successful in the race. Don't miss the 34th season premiere of The Amazing Race. It is 1 week from tonight, Wednesday, September 21st.
It follows the 2-hour premiere of Survivor on CBS and available to stream live and on demand on Paramount Plus. What year of Survivor is this? The 59th?
That's a good question. I love Survivor.
Show's been on
too.
forever.
I know. I'm going to be binging a couple hours that night.
That show was on when you were still on the morning show.
Yes. Susan Hawk, remember her on the first season?
All right, it's time to get your plant and garden questions answered. The number to call, 608-270-9933.
Lisa Briggs from the Bruce Company is here and ready to answer your questions. We'll take your calls when Live at 4 continues, so call now.
First, we found out that radical Tim Michael supports Wisconsin's 1849 abortion ban.
But you wouldn't support exceptions for rape or incest?
That's correct. Now we found out his foundation funds a group working to outlaw birth control and ban abortion, even to save the life of the mother. And his family foundation funds a group that uses cell phone data to track women if they go to abortion centers. Vote no on radical Tim Michaels.
Volunteering offers more than benefits for those served. Volunteers reap health benefits from the time they give. RSVP of Dane County's Driver Services Program needs volunteers to provide rides to medical appointments and deliver meals to older adults in Dane County. Ideal candidates are of legal driving age, love to drive, and meet new people. Schedules are very flexible, and volunteer drivers will use their own vehicles and are reimbursed for mileage. To make a difference, please contact RSVP of Dane County today.
Eyes require a certain kind of care. As a family-owned optical company for over 40 years, Wisconsin Vision knows firsthand just how important your eyes are. That's why our doctors and staff are highly skilled and passionate in their roles. It's why our centers offer a large selection of eyewear suitable for all lifestyles, and it's why our lens lab is state-of-the-art, conveniently located right here in Wisconsin.
Ask about our Designer Kids package or free lens upgrade. Wisconsin Vision. See more life.
The Socialist Squad led the charge to defund the police and eliminate bail for dangerous felons. Now violent crime is surging in Wisconsin.
More people have been killed in Milwaukee this year than in any previous year.
Mandela Barnes attacked the Kenosha police and incited more violence.
The officer's deadly actions attempted to take a person's life in broad daylight. This felt like some sort of vendetta.
Mandela Barnes, dangerously liberal on crime.
I'm Ron Johnson, and I approve this message.
At TSR, we transform your old, beat-up concrete into a beautiful, durable surface in one day. Hi, I'm Joey with TSR Concrete Coatings. We specialize in garages, patios, pool decks, basements, and more. We don't just coat over your old concrete. We start by grinding it down, then we apply the base coat and chip and seal it with our own proprietary sealant that will never chip or peel. Our coatings are beautiful, durable, ridiculously easy to clean, and are backed by our exclusive lifetime warranty. Our in-house team is ready to answer any questions that you have before and after the install. And right now on all projects, we're offering 15% off. Call the number shown below or visit our website for your new floor today.
One day floor.
We are taking your plant calls today for Lisa Briggs from the Bruce Company. Good to see you again.
Hi, Lisa. Good to see you. The number to call, 608-270-9933.
All right, let's get to the phones, and we will start with LaVon in Madison. Hi, what's your question? LaVon, you there?
Yes, I am.
Go ahead. What's your question?
I want to know, Lisa, why a Christmas cactus, one half of it would be wilty and the other half don't. And what is the best window to put them in?
So Christmas cactus like a lot of light, so a south or a west window is best. But if you want to get it to flower, then what you're going to need to do is to put it in a room where the nights, where there are not lights on all night long. As far as the wilting is concerned, one side wilting and one side not, you might need to not repot it, but just maybe pull it out and freshen the soil up a little bit, or there might be some kind of damage on those parts where they're a little bit wilted. So check closely and see if there's any kind of insect pest or anything like that.
Okay, that's a good idea. Let's go to Marlene in Fort Atkinson. Hi, Marlene. What's your question?
Yes, I have a large amount of pampas grass, more than what I want. And I've tried just about everything to get rid of it, and I have not. It's almost like it's multiplying even more. Is there anything that will kill that?
Okay, so
pampas grass.
Pampas grass. So my earpiece is really staticky. So pampas grass is probably what you're looking at is not true pampas grass, but miscanthus. Has a very similar plume, likes a sunny spot. I would say that sometimes if it's a little wet, they can escape. So did you guys hear what the problem was with it?
It's multiplying, and
yes, it's really.
She wants to know how to get rid of it.
Seeds all over the place. So if you want to get rid of it, you're going to want to either dig it out or use a herbicide that will kill grass. Also, you want to make sure that you don't let it go to seed, because that's usually how it moves along. So cut those flower stems out and get rid of them. Cut it back in the fall.
Okay.
So that will help.
All right, let's go to Cheryl in Madison. Hi, Cheryl. What's your question?
I have a section of my garden that I used to have a lot of perennials like coneflowers and such, and a cat has destroyed all my perennials in the area. I was wondering if there's a safe way to keep the cat away.
Yeah, I would use like there are all sorts of scent repellents, and you might want to use predator urine for like coyotes, like something bigger. I usually use the Fox products in my yard because I'm usually battling chipmunks, but there is one that's a step up that is granulated coyote urine, and so that might keep cats away.
How do you do it? You just sprinkle it around the plants?
It's just sprinkle. It's granulated, and it's called by a company called Shake Away. You just sort of shake it out.
Okay.
Yeah,
All right,
that might help.
All right, let's go to Jenny in Partyville. Hi, what's your question?
Hi, Lisa. I have a question about the insecticide that you're telling us all to use on our house plants to come inside. Do you recommend a certain brand?
What you want to use is insecticidal soap. At the Bruce Company, we sell one by a company called Safers. There are other ones on the market, I'm sure, but you want to buy it for this rather than make your own, because sometimes if the concentration of the acid in the soap is too high, you can burn your plants. So just give them a good overall spray a couple of times before you bring your plants in, and then you might want to use like a systemic capsule in case you've got any eggs that are laid in the soil in your potting soil before you bring them in.
Okay. All right, let's go to Audrey in DeForest. Hi, Audrey. What's your question?
Hi. I have two questions. One is about the rhubarb leaves. When are you supposed to? I thought Lisa said at one point that we should leave them on the ground. It was good for the ground, but should we clean them up in the fall now and compost them? And my other question is about, I have a hydrangea, a really old one, and it's getting really big. I need to trim it. Right now it's in bloom, and I can't remember the type it is. It has the big blossoms that are kind of cone-shaped.
Like these.
Yeah, is it like this one?
Like this one.
And they go from like white to pink as the season goes on.
Okay, so the rhubarb, you're going to want to cut that back and clean that up. You can do that now. As far as your hydrangea is concerned, PG hydrangeas, which is what this is, they will flower on new growth, so they will set their flower buds next spring. So you can go ahead and trim it back this year in the fall, or you can wait until spring and do it then. Either way works.
A lot of people like these keep them out. You can dry these out.
You can dry these out and use them for decoration. A lot of people like to leave them on the plant for the winter because it's sort of attractive. Just when you're cutting them back, just cut them back above a pair of buds, and you'll be good to go.
Yeah, these are from Mark's garden.
Yeah.
I do it in the fall.
Yeah.
I don't want to deal with it in the spring.
There's a lot of stuff going on in the spring, I think.
Yes.
Are we out of time? I missed the instructions. Okay, we're all set. You want to take the calls off the air?
Sure, I can do that.
All right, if you're on the line, stay there. Lisa will talk to you off the air. We'll see you next time.
Yeah, Monday.
Oh, yeah, great.
Thanks for calling. We'll be right back with the final check your forecast.
Stoughton Health's Breast Cancer Risk Assessment can help you understand your personal breast cancer risk and strategies to reduce your risk. The screening is a free service Stoughton Health offers to help women take charge of their health.
Nothing beats a great night's sleep on a new Tempur-Pedic mattress from Steinhoffels. Tempur-Pedic is designed to make aches and pains a thing of the past by relieving pressure points and supporting the body as no other mattress can. Queen Tempur-Pedic start at just $24.49. Plus, get $300 in Steinhoffels cash. You can rest easy when you take advantage of Steinhoffels special financing. Isn't it time you got a great night's sleep? Relax. It's Steinhoffels.
New Salonpas Lidocaine Flex, a super thin, flexible patch with maximum OTC strength lidocaine that contours to the body to relieve pain right where it hurts. And did we mention it really, really sticks? Salonpas, it's good medicine.
There's no other place where my story is possible. My mom was a teacher. My dad worked third shift. It was our ticket to the middle class. That's the promise of America I'll fight to protect. While others send our jobs overseas, I'll bring manufacturing back. Invest in our own workers and stock our shelves with American products. And with a middle-class tax cut, you'll be able to keep more of what you earn. I know the promise of America, and no one will fight harder to protect it. I'm Mandela Barnes, and I approve this message.
Stoughton Health's Breast Cancer Risk Assessment can help you understand your personal breast cancer risk and strategies to reduce your risk. The screening is a free service Stoughton Health offers to help women take charge of their health.
Building a house and creating a home, a single mom works to give her children the best future. And pulling ahead in the poll predictions, incumbent Ron Johnson makes a big recovery since August. We examine all of the races coming up at 5.
News 3 Now Sports brings you the Badger Blueprint. Join us every week for an exclusive look at Wisconsin football. From the practice field to the locker room to game day previews and highlights. Badger Blueprint, Wednesdays only on News 3 Now at 10.
And we're looking at AM fog. We could have fog tomorrow. Otherwise, we're going to get warmer and muggy this weekend. Best shot for rain is going to be Saturday and Sunday. And then we're going to look at summer-like conditions going through early part of next week.
At iMart Express, you'll save on glasses for classes. For $79, get 2 pairs with kid-safe polycarbonate lenses and a free 1-year frame warranty. Don't let the bell ring before you get a chance to save. A $200 value, all for $79.
McGann Furniture and Flooring in Baraboo has a question for you. Have you ever bought furniture in a box and then had to put it together yourself? We know it's not fun. At McGann's, everything is professionally inspected and assembled before pickup or delivery. Goodbye headaches, and there's no extra charge for assembly. And remember, at McGann's, we don't raise prices only to lower them later for a sale. Stop in soon and discover the difference. McGann Furniture and Flooring, downtown Baraboo.
At Silver Lining Taekwondo, we build character, self-discipline, and resilience. And it was resilience that brought Silver Lining through the last 2 very difficult years and allowed us to win the Best of Madison Gold Award for Best Martial Arts Studio. Whether you are 5 or 55, you can be your best because there's always a silver lining. Sign up today. There has never been a better time to start.
The perfect time to get your roofing project off the ground with Feldco. As the seasons change, you want to be sure your house is ready for the harsh Midwestern weather ahead. For just $279 a month, you can protect your home and your family with a new Feldco roof. So get your fall started off on the right foot today with Feldco.
Roofing for $279 a month and soon. Hurry, call now.
For quality windows, siding, and doors, call 866 for Feldco.
Chevy Silverado. It's got the power you want and the capability you need to do the job so you can get to the important work. Find new moments, find new roads. Get a $500 cash allowance on all 2022 Silverado pickups with a 2.7-liter turbo engine. Plus, now during truck season, get a $1,000 accessory allowance toward a new Chevy truck with accessories. Chevrolet, the #1 selling brand in Wisconsin.
iMart Express owns selection, price, and speed. Need single vision? Get 2 pairs starting under $40. Progressives, 2 pairs start under $80. Nobody beats us, guaranteed. iMart Express. Right glasses, right price, right now.
Welcome back. Well, in today's world, the word affordable can be a relative term.
Especially when it comes to the Affordable Art Fair in Hong Kong. The fair features the Hong Kong Convention Center after a 2-year pandemic pause, showcasing original contemporary artworks starting at $13,000 all the way up to $100 grand. Local and international exhibitors have works on display. In all, thousands of pieces are for sale. Workshops and tours are also provided for the young and old and art lovers and collectors. This is the 9th edition of the Hong Kong Art Fair. And whether you're a seasoned collector or looking for a first edition limited print, this fair is the perfect place to learn more about art and refine your taste. I guess $13,000 isn't quite as affordable as some think. Anyway, that's our time. Thanks for watching. We'll see you back here again tomorrow. News 3 Now at 5 starts right now.